In this video, I bring back to life a Troy-built pony riding lawnmower. For any small engine that's been sitting for more than a year, it's very likely that you may have similar issues. The batteries in small engines with battery-powered starters will discharge over time, so it's probable that the battery may be undercharged or even fully discharged. If you're not sure how long it's been sitting and you want to test your luck, drain the old fuel, put in fresh fuel, turn the key and see what happens. If the engine turns over but doesn't start, you probably need to do a carburetor cleaning. More on that later. If the engine turns over slowly, makes a clicking sound, or makes no sound, the battery is likely depleted. Charge the battery and try again later. If the engine makes no sound, check the battery of the voltmeter. If the voltage is very low and the battery is old, it's probably easier to just replace the battery instead of trying to rejuvenate it. The battery in this tractor is 11 years old and is reading 0 volts. I'm just going to replace this one. When you disconnect the battery, always disconnect the negative terminal first. This is so that if you happen to touch a piece of grounded metal when you're disconnecting the positive terminal, it doesn't cause a shock. Now, in this case, my battery is completely dead, so it doesn't matter. But when I put this back together, I'm going to do the reverse, which is install the positive cable first and then the negative cable. Be careful when buying a replacement battery. You can get the exact same battery with the positive on the opposite side. Usually one will have an R in the designation noting that the terminals are reversed. In my case, I have the reversed notation battery, so my positive is on the upper left. After the battery replacement, the machine started up but was surging wildly. Surging is when the engine revs up and down by itself but won't reach a constant idle. This is a telltale for a clogged carburetor. Old fuel typically contaminates carburetors, but it also is believed that the ethanol in common pump gas collects moisture from the air and also increases contamination. Starting and running means that the fuel and the spark interlocks are all working correctly, but the fuel just isn't being metered correctly into the engine. To clean the carburetor, take it off the machine. On this machine, there's 2 nuts and 2 bolts that hold on the carburetor. After it's detached from the machine, the throttle lever and choke lever, if equipped, need to be detached. There may also be 1 or more springs attaching the carburetor to the machine. On this machine, there is a throttle lever, choke lever, and 1 spring. Take a picture of the setup to help put it back together later. Generally, most of the cleaning needed will be accessible in the carburetor bowl. Remove the 1 to 4 bolts holding on the bottom of the carburetor. Carefully disassemble the float by pulling out the float pin and to access the carburetor passages. I cleaned everything with carburetor cleaner and paper towels. Spray the cleaner through all the orifices. Don't forget your safety glasses. Anything that's miscolored is typically contamination. I use carburetor cleaning wires. These come in a variety of sizes that really help clean up the small passages. I made a link to one of these sets in the description. Reassembly is the reverse of disassembly. Restarting. It's better, but there's still something wrong. I'm going to go for a ride to see if maybe it's just a little debris that needs to be worked out of the carb. Interesting. Looks like that did it. The cost of this repair for me was $62 for a new battery. If you bought the carb cleaner and cleaning kit, you'd be in for another $12, but that's still pretty good for a machine that runs awesome. Thanks for watching. See you next time.